It's a for Akroma Likee TV na message and our channel so hit at the subscribe boy 7 drop the latest news content abejibre now so when you be a tea na your power and 71 say Supreme Court judges no say Jan Eshishimwa Mwa Mababa Bonten Eddie Sécrét in your me call so after ruling in about Bonten na Justice Avil Lovelace Johnson Dissenting be abetudra na achieve fortune say a Sécrét na wo poli efi Supreme Court ho di aba ponten na yemumram na yenti ensem ni bi after say yate say omo a resign no ye ba de ka ho no ye de emo ensem
Lovelace later said on tias yes say e was afenyo makin eja high court ho no di mirikaba Supreme Court. The moment I obey sano, it means say emrano yani Supreme Court chrono ya enshada mumrano. In the first place no, judges mienu amutina so catch chief justice said dia wo ye no emwa. Intentional ubuno, it is not the right ruling. Wuni nipa for na makosha dem catch Ghana for say the Speaker of Parliament any to me no. It is wrong. In the first place, you were not supposed to entertain this case. Oh tokonu. On one judges or no more Supreme Court catching so biased and on biased. When judges on the case in the Supreme Court indirectly tell the Chief Justice she's biased, our democracy is hanging on a thin line. So the to me ma or be very careful. And your baby and your money to me, or baby or money to me and I and so yankopon. And this woman tokonu oti Supreme Court and in Nigerian say nobody can check her. That is her intentions. And that is Nigerian done it. Her body language, bono. Nigerian said the position she is, nobody can touch her. So she can do damage to everyone. That is how she feels. And anytime I say, oh ma oba to me, sure ba nim, ne shed trim, and some to me amano, and your baby am a man to me. That is why this woman is exhibiting this highest form of insubordination and disrespect to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. On one judges the catch and say, you did not follow the right path. You are basically being biased in this matter. You are disrespecting the Constitution and the mandate you have been given to make sure we interpret the law right. Let the applicant go through the right process because the lower court has exclusive jurisdiction on this case. And then today we sit here to allow some people to destroy our democracy. That's why I'm telling you, do not waste your time on Chief Justice Tokonu. Your focus should be on election 2024. Vote for the NDC, and after that, we will see the aftermath on the Supreme Court of Ghana. Then you don't know what you want. Then you yourself, you are confused. No Ghanaian should waste their time on Tokonu and the Supreme Court. No Ghanaian. They don't have credibility again. The ruling that came out, Omwankasa Judge Fodibi said, it is one of the worst rulings on this land, Ghana. They don't have any credibility. They are ashamed. They know they have denigrated the Supreme Court. They are just sitting there in shame. We are not supposed to make this a national conversation. Because you see, when you read the whole ruling and the 101 pages, you're reading 101 pages. We took like 2 hours to analyze everything. You read 101 pages. This is a sham. It is a disgrace. A time. A failure. And you can see clearly that what they put out there, they are ashamed. They do not even have a definite answer, a definite ruling. The ruling is vague. Because you see, when you put a ruling out, and one of the judges on the bench, Eba Bontilbeka, said this ruling, the Chief Justice should understand this is an embarrassment to the office. A time. That's why I'm telling Ghanaians, nobody. This Chief Justice is an embarrassment to herself. She's an embarrassment to the court. She's a straightforward political agent. She does not have that independence to sit in the Supreme Court and make decisions by respecting the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. No, she's not independent. The Chief Justice is basically a slave to the executive. And I don't want Ghanaians to spend too much time on the ruling. So right now, if an MP goes to Parliament, na ura Parliament, na sa Article 97G, any H, no, at the end of the day, a dear emra and a Parliament a bit makase obi vacating the seat emra bang, because Supreme Court actually say emra bien niwa a bit must stop obi in Parliament from vacating their seat. That is basically their judgment. How did we get here? Into sa article no, that article na ewo no, sa article na constitution no any standing orders no, when does it take effect? Supreme Court sa ruling ya modia be, sa article no standing orders, this article no constitution no, when does it take effect? When is it necessary to use it? When? Because you are telling us that now anybody can come to Parliament and then act as if he's an MPP, but he is working with NDC. Anybody can come to Parliament and act as if he's NDC and work with MPP. Somebody can come to Parliament as an independent, pretend to be independent, and work with the NPP against the... So basically, there are no rules. Your ruling is vague. And you see, Chachichi Kataka Asembi, or say, don't think, say, some men with guns and some young men with bombs and the best constitutional, the people we have entrusted that constitution to, the Supreme Court, they are the ones who will destroy the constitution. And today is the beginning of the destruction of Ghana's constitution by Tokonu. Obian fetuo embese Ghana constitution in democracy. Our Supreme Court will destroy our democracy, and they started it today. It is embarrassing. In fact, when you watch or listen a time, a ferry, you ask yourself, say, these people, what do they want? What's your end game? What do you want to achieve? Omo make is our ruling and they say about arrest tire. What cause chaos or the landmine that to call. One of the judges now make this very, very despicable ruling. No, we say the also retire. Ain't problem now we create no. Who is going to solve it? Or this is where we are. The elderly we have given, or people we have given position to, they don't care about this nation. And anytime I catch a Ghana for say, the Chief Justice, the ruling from the Supreme Court, don't waste any energy on it. It is a sham. It is a disgrace. At time, it makes them look naked. It makes them look like when they are walking, they are not wearing panties. It makes them look like puppets. You see, right now I see the Supreme Court as old men and women walking naked. It's so embarrassing and disgusting that we sit, and today the Supreme Court of our land is now interested in destroying the democracy of this nation. I see them as naked women and men walking without anything. I am embarrassed in my heart for the Supreme Court. See, if you want to see the embarrassment, one of the judges, Tanku, who was part of the panel, this is what he said. The one of the judges who dissented, two judges did not agree with the decision. This is what the judge said. Or say, so really, baby, Mama Kena, I don't want us to waste time on this Supreme Court thing. It is just, or say, my Lord, even though I find the instant case as one which can be described as a great case within Lord Denning's description, the situation we are confronted with in this action, in my view, is not a hard situation. It is usual occurrence in our interpretive functions as the highest court of the land. Fortunately, we have churned out enough jurisprudence in dealing with the issues raised in this suit. I must state from the outset that it is these settled and consistent jurisprudence from this court which I hold firm in this delivery. This one is one of the judges, Lovelace. That was her position. One of the judges said, "May catch asem ding," but it is looking like say asem we no. Yene yetumi no, yama yetumi no atra bebi asem no wo. One of the judges who sided with one of the judges who dissented, the one person, one of the two, Tanko and Lovelace. Lovelace said, Chief Justice, it looks like as some jurisdiction and a territory, but at the end of the day, you judges into your transfer many option be to be part of this case. Judge for no mutina case so Krampon catch Chief Justice said this is wrong. This case, how we have ruled it, is not the right way to do things. And that you, the Chief Justice, you have basically skewed the system. Because, sorry, this is Tanko. Because at the end of the day, Asemno Krampono, jurisdiction, and I say Asemno, Yentaba in Krampono, Yatremu dodo. Asemwe Nyasema Dinya. And the wama semya chinchina ya brabra senuma ya tentri yentabe mwako du bibi enisi yedru. Na Tanko ekasan the 13th no say, sorry, where Tanko or say, I do not hasten to proclaim that I have apprehended with despair the majority's conclusion in this suit, but I state with utmost deference to the Honorable Chief Justice and the rest of my brethren in the majority that not only do I fundamentally disagree with their conclusion, I, with all due respect, also find the decision an aberration to the established and accepted judicial position of this court, which with, let me read the second part, which with, and that is the part marked red, which with profound respect, I hope in no distant future, the resultant usurpation of the constitutional prerogative of the High Court incidental to the majority decision will be reversed. Tanko, the final reasoner Ojina so eka say the Chief Justice and the other 4 judges no epene so say assemwe enkoda bibieda no or say ono de opeso ka Chief Justice any ni nuanom a omote de omote asem no so say adekudie ntia asem we onjintum say the Speaker of Parliament enye unconstitutional no enye constitutional ne say ogidi pa say sa asem we sorry you dropped out of battery
tamapaya dagbana magum meyewu dagbana magum meyewu sama paya tabu makana zuwaya bella jimalana haruna idrisu manza nawum manza yirwa damadu damya
Tanko asem o kanyina ne say o see asem no so ode no kura to baby da decision na nipo 5 no ka say Chief Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin ade oye no enye constitutional o say on de o gitum say sa asem we debi oka o say debi asem we e o say sa tena so ne dane den the ruling no because nyoma bebre wo mu a entwa yi also odi sebi odi enim die ema Chief Justice eni ni nuanom na omo ka say asem we embuntia Chief Speaker of Parliament or say ono de ade ema ni gina so ka say on gintum ne say asem na nkese nya asem ayedin na omo at by omo tabemu ayeyire asem no so ema nyoma bia eni se yedi bemu ene enkwanchen bia yedi abewurawuram no ama asem ne ya asem ya ono na kumemu no ohun ni say etiamra sene ayebu entanchie entan na omobu no say that judgment the ruling no emfa kwemu na osi onim se debi ye be kai no efri say sa asem we debi ye be sa frɛ no Supreme Court na yaka say ruling we na enye no kore. This is one of the judges omutina case ni so e ka kire Ghana for say Chief Justice any 4 judges omo ka mo yakrofo omo ka kore. Now, my mention the reason why a Chief Justice Tokonu ruling no or 7. This ruling is a temporary ruling for the MPP to enter parliament and go past sikasem no mo pese omo pass no. Madam Tokonu, she knows for a fact said this ruling will be reversed in the future. She knows. And nuntina oba final ruling no or didn't pass 7 by. Because if even one person dissents, what it means is say in the future somebody can base on that one person's idea not to concur or not to be part of the other people in the ruling. No? One person can take that person's view, no, and go to the Supreme Court and say, because one person did not agree with the lot, no, there is still room for the case to be re-looked at again. And it's not deliberately, no, the Chief Justice, no, nipa 5 or no nimse obetumini omaya yes. And of 5 mienuka wa she did not care what they would say. Inti sa nipa mienu no. Sa nipa mienu no. Na onim said they are not going to agree, but we didn't come for a set for a canon. But omo catch the Ghana for say this decision one day it will come back to the Supreme Court and it will be reversed. Madam Tokonu, she knows. Tokonu, she is doing this temporarily for the NPP to go to Parliament and pass that tax waiver. Onim say kianeki in the near future. Somebody will raise this issue and say this case was not ruled the right way and that it should be reviewed and that they will go back and say, because as we speak, let me clear with you here. Let me clear with you. Oba Okankwe North, right? Girl ya or contest with Kuapim Amadukuya or a sitting MP or Tinahoma Equiapim for, right? And at the same Amadou Kuyano, Abba Okankwe North, Abba contested for primaries. Now, if about 3 months ago, Amadou Kuya wuya. Say Amadou Kuya 3 months ago, oh wuya. Anka was NPP foko penny pambianuana. Because you have to understand, Amadou Kuya in Parliament, she's representing the people of Ekuapem North. The common fund, you know, they gave it to her. In the name of Ekuapem North, into the common fund has to go to Ekuapem North. Amadou Kuya is in Parliament as an MPP person. The same Amadou Kuya, ako NPP primaries, ako independent to Abontene. Still, Odanwoye MP in Parliament. Into send the Amadou Kuya wua. Now say, yenyanko to aba. How are we going to fill it? Because on paper, Amadou Kuya is an independent candidate, were registered to come independent, right? Now, Amadou Kuya we also as a register as an MPP currently or your MPP ni. Now, that is one. Amadou Kuya or your Ekuapem North or your MP no. We free Ekuapem North and waba Okankwe asabe contested asabe winning primaries. In Amadou Kuya or your Ekuapem North MP and asa or your Okankwe MP. So Amadou Kuya wa MPP for kwa kweyi another parliamentary candidate to Okankwe North. And ombesa ko Ekuapem Asakoyi another candidate for Ekuapem North because we want to know because currently or MP of Ekuapem for no and right now or say a parliamentary candidate Emma MPP or Okankwe North it is a Amadou Kuya wua so owu na MPP for no ebekwakoyi a new parliamentary candidate to Ekuapem North ewo Okankwe North na omasako Ekuapem North wo akwakoyi another MPP parliamentary candidate this is the ruling of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is saying, all of these things, you know, there's no problem. How do you sit in the Supreme Court and put such a judgment out? How do you sit there and think, this is normal? This is not. This is not. Into the Kuyamkwa case, you can see, our Chief Justice is a political Chief Justice. Our Chief Justice does not care because a ruling nearby now. They are basically telling us to say, ye nim die now listen, look at this. One with the background, the Lovelace one, right? Mr. S. Top and down. Okay. Now, my team wants me to read something to you. 73. I don't have it besides. Okay, let me get it. Let me get it. Okay. Now, me 10% me ready idea be chemo ha sisia. Is it the same, Mr. Okay, these are two different ones. Okay. So, when you look at this whole thing very well, the ruling from the Supreme Court, on any day, it's a political ruling. Now, Lovelace now also dissenting on it tanko ka say they really don't want to be part of the Chief Justice set, Now, already Lovelace, also NDI, the final statement or stay no kan. That's okay. The tenor is the first one, right? All right. Okay. Lovelace na also dissenting na on it tanko. Any Chief Justice and any four groups na anya say the tenor of the above suggests that where the Supreme Court and the lower superior court have concurrent jurisdiction in a matter, it is the jurisdiction of the lower superior court which is to be first invoked. Oba will say it is my opinion that in relation to a matter relating to the vacation or otherwise of a parliamentary seat, a plaintiff has no choice in the matter. He has to go to the High Court. The jurisdiction of the High Court is exclusive. The other lady na, Lovelace na, on it, Tanko, a dissentee, honestly view, no, see, in her ruling, no, or see the reason why on the Chief Justice in Yadrin and say, there's a lower court, and there's a court that is basically assigned to listen to these kind of cases. And why did the applicant, ignore that court and come straight to the Supreme Court? Because at that moment, your court able to handle a lower court than the Supreme Court. The lower court has exclusive. It has exclusive right to listen to that case. Into other Chief Justice Ankancha Afenoma can say, go to the lower court and let's see what happens there. And if you don't understand, bring it to us. Into Lovelace now on it tanko edisenti and or say or catch the Chief Justice and say this is not right. In the first place, Afenoma was supposed to go to the lower court, that is the High Court. And now when he goes to the High Court, because Assembly to na Assemble a Asema a Tumiko High Court in a Superior Court. Because the High Court also has that jurisdiction, the right to listen, it has exclusive into Assembly High Court and Sanabasro. It is so when you listen to the two judges, in fact, the other part of a statement in the I'm reading short, the last part of a statement, or say the tenor of the above suggests that where the Supreme Court and a lower superior court have concurrent jurisdiction in a matter. Let me read the other part. Let me conclude on an answer. I want you to understand something. The last part of a Lovelace statement in the any or say, I am satisfied that the High Court being the proper forum for this matter, but the plaintiff having filed his writ in the Supreme Court, the jurisdiction of this court has not been properly invoked. I therefore see no need to go into the merits or otherwise of the other issue raised in the memoranda of issues. The action is accordingly dismissed.
It must say some more breast or daily updates even so.